Well, we're at the start of our final half to 2/3 day walk. We're at, as you can see, Andy's real well cheerful about it. Andy's just done, he's done the touching of the marker post, and this is the beginning of our 8 miler or thereabouts. So we go to the highest point on the southwest coast path at Great Hangman, and we're starting off at 150 feet above sea level or thereabouts. And we've then got to get up to 1,034 feet to the highest point at Great Hangman. Thoughts about that?
Looking forward to it, despite having suffered a little bit of sunstroke, I believe, from yesterday, which is why I'm wearing a sun hat, even though it's in the shade. And we have little prospect of sun later on. That's the same scenario yesterday, but I still ended up with a sore bald patch from sun exposure. So I'm not taking any chances.
No
today.
chances taken today. Lovely little stone bridge to go across. I've got to touch the sign, and walking fans, we're away. Heart very much pumping, just done the first ascent from the river, the Heddon, from the little bridge, and we've come up probably the best part of 300 feet up a zigzag path, and you can see the severity of the slopes here. Pretty dramatic, and we've got a way to go. We've got to go about the same amount up again by the time we get to Great Hangman, but glorious, absolutely glorious, and quite warm. Andy's breaking trail, he's pioneering away, and I'm just having a few moments to catch my breath, calm the heart down, look down on a flying bird, hopefully not an albatross. See you later. A lofty old bit of path this, as we got up onto the East Cleave cliffs. Heddon Valley behind us, Great Hangman ahead. Splendid walking. Well, ahead of us on our walk is the highest point. I think that's it, the third one, if you count from the left. 1, 2, 3, I think the third one, I think that's Great Hangman. So that's our high point for the day. And it's flat calm. Reasonable cloud cover, so the sun's not too fierce. And we are so blessed we got this to ourselves. That's normally the point when somebody walks around the corner. So this is what farmers use their rubber tyres for. That, and as my brother advised me, they also use it for putting down all the big tarpaulins, tarps, for holding down the winter food.
Spoils the natural setting.
Does a bit, doesn't it? I mean, that's the natural aesthetic. There's the path ahead of us, and there's the countryside that we're going to conquer and caress. And on we went across a lovely, peaceful high moorland of Holdstone Down, getting closer and closer to what appeared to be a mighty chasm ahead of us, Sherry Combe. Well, we're just approaching not Girt Lush, but Girt Down on our way up to Great Hangman. Quite a sharp drop down into Sherry Combe, which is now behind and below me. Andy's pulling up pretty quickly, and this is the biggest ascent probably in one go of the whole southwest coast path. So got a little way to go yet, but we'll be soon atop Great Hangman, 1,034 feet, the highest point, cliff point, I think, on the British mainland coastline. I'm not entirely certain of that, and I'm sure somebody will be correcting me, but I got a feeling it is, and it is absolutely splendid. The initial hack up from the little bridge was hard, but we're now just going gently across the contour, so it's not quite as bad. Holdstone down behind us, Sherry Combe done, and with the able assistance of my walking poles, a long climb up to the top of Great Hangman, with Little Hangman still some way ahead of us. So Hangmen very much in my mind, so the song for the day really has to be Gallows Pole, the opener on side B of Led Zeppelin 3. Has to be said, a favourite album of both Andy and mine. Well, I'm just below the Great Hangman summit, which is full of fellow walkers, and it's like being in a library. Nobody's talking, they're all on their mobile phones. So I thought I'd just come a few yards away and enjoy the sort of solitude of being up here. That's the remaining walk ahead. Not very far now to drop back down to Combe Martin, and as soon as we're at the highest point of the SWCP, Great Hangman, it must be all downhill from here. But that's enough about the England-Germany game later on. It'll be intriguing to see what transpires. I'm full of dread and also a degree of excitement. But my future life won't be defined on how England do against Germany tonight. It'd be nice for them to win, but not really that bothered, if I'm being honest. But it would be good. It's good for the national mood if England do well, and it's been a shit time for everybody. So I guess, yeah, I do want England to win for that reason, just as a fillip to everybody, not a prince, just a fillip, a pep up. Those are my thoughts at Great Hangman. But as a seeker of solitude and walking, coming to these places and seeing half a dozen other people there, but it is what it is. The triumph of Great Hangman then, the highest point on the actual coastal path itself, done. We walked on relatively easily, quite high up to Little Hangman, which at just over 700 feet was an impressive point to stand atop. Plenty of friendly folk there, much more animated than at Great Hangman. Perhaps it's something to do with the sombre names, I don't know. An up and down descent then from Little Hangman down into the village of Combe Martin. Boots off, chucked our kit bags into the back of Andy's car and headed back to our respective bolt holes in Bristol to enjoy watching England stuff Germany in the last 16 of the Euros. Kane and Sterling the scorers. Marvellous way to end the day.